Your fastest 4 qualifiers lined up in an inverted order. They'll race for 4 laps. On the pole, in car number 12, your 4th fast qualifier tonight, it's Don Renner. Don Renner in number 12, alongside a former track champion in this division, car number 10 from Grove City, Ohio, Robin Pennington in 10. Inside of row number 2, car 73 from Columbus, Randy Sword, and your fast qualifier with a 16.074, St. Paris, Ohio native, Carl Stapleton. Your fastest 4 qualifiers race for 4 laps. We do have a temporary new starter. Our Jim Fuzzy Paul was injured in a construction accident. It's John Knuckles with the flags this evening. As always, Knuckles now ably assisted by Droopy Drawers Jordan. And Robin Pennington is the leader. Robin Pennington in car number 10, the Sunbury Auto Parts entry. An excellent job of driving by Donnie Renner. He saved it, almost spun in front of 2 oncoming cars. Renner holds on, slips to 4th. Pennington is 2nd. Randy Sword 3rd. Halfway. The cross flag signifying halfway. Sword now holds his distance, trying to track down your leader, Robin Pennington, or make that Stapleton trying to track down your leader. Pennington still the leader, but Stapleton moving ever closer. Half a lap to go. The winner of the first event of 1992, the Trophy Dash, Robin Pennington. Carl Stapleton is 2nd. 3rd goes to Randy Sword, and 4th, Don Renner. Alongside in car 22, it's Donald Parsons III. 2nd row is Donnie Gregory in 2, and Jim Kidd in 25. Then comes Jim Cruz in the red, white, and blue number 9. And that's alongside, that's Dick Kelly in 00. Finally, 02 is Charlie Osborne. Car number 4, I knew that name earlier. That is Jerry Rayner in 4. Jerry Rayner in 4. So the green flag drops. Gregory almost to the inside of Tom Randolph down the backstretch. Now Randolph sideways off the 4th turn. Randolph still your leader. Tom Randolph, Don Gregory. They'll complete 2 laps this time. They'll get the halfway signal this time. 4 laps will be complete. Still Tom Randolph, Donnie Gregory. Now Gregory into the back of Randolph. Tom recovers. And here comes Jim Kidd in 25. Now Gregory will try the high groove around Randolph. Jim Kidd is third. Fourth runs Don Parsons. White flag this time for Don Gregory Jr. Now Jim Kidd makes his way on the high groove around Randolph. They'll go door to door down the backstretch. And the winner is Don Gregory. Second goes to Jim Kidd. And finishing third, Tom Randolph. Fourth in a close race was Donald Parsons III, finishing fourth. BOBB. And on the outside in car number 20, Mike Brown. Second row in car number 29 is Bob Justice. And flanking him in car 74, Ken Sward. Larry Peterson is next in the black number 19. And outside of the third row in the yellow 17 car, that's Sam Heckman. Then comes car number 70, the 1990 track champion in the limited sportsman division, Joe Hill. And alongside in car number 0, your fifth fast qualifier, it's Donnie Zero Hill. 8 racing laps for the limited sportsman second heat race. Finally, Mike Brown moves out ahead in 20. 3 laps in the record books. Brown starts to put some distance on Russ Bobb, your second place runner. Halfway. It's still Mike Brown, Russ Bobb, Ken Sward, Bob Justice, your top 4. White flag signifying 1 lap remaining, this time by. And the Oscar goes to Mike Brown. Coming home second is Russ Bobb. And third, in a close battle, Ken Sword. Winston Racing Series late model trophy dash on the pole in car number 61 with a 14.542. The chassis is the same car that Ron Otto Jr. ran a year ago. This is Mike Ward. Ward in since 61 alongside out of New Carlisle, Ohio. It's kind of apropos that these three guys are in the dash, your fastest three qualifiers. They're three of the guys that went to the Nashville NASCAR Winston Racing Series Awards Banquet last year. Dick Dunleavy Jr. with a 14.489. I better hurry. Starting third with second quick time, Robbie Dean. And your new track record holder, John Vallow, starts fourth. 4 laps to go. And as is customary, we have a false start. We go ahead and give the green flag, let them run down into the turn 1. And let the cars get sorted out. We used to have just either drop the yellow as they come by or have a starter turn their back, and too often we had crashes down in turn 1 when the top front cars would let off, the back cars wouldn't see it. So we go ahead and give them the green and then line up for a restart. Vallow's new track record, an incredible 14.210. Mike Ward, the leader. And now we're going to go yellow, false start. We'll try it one more time. The cars are supposed to stay lined up until they get toward the back of the straightaway. There we go. Now we're going to get her. 4 laps to go. Dunleavy on the outside of Mike Ward. They'll get the cross flags. Halfway this time, it's still Ward on the bottom, Dunleavy on the outside. Now the New Carlisle, Ohio driver with the advantage down the backstretch. And here comes the yellow 21 in hot pursuit. White flag. Dunleavy begins to put a little distance on the second place cars, and he'll be the winner easily, Dick Dunleavy Jr. Second is Mike Ward, third Robbie Dean, and fourth John Vallow. Car number 4 from New Carlisle, Ohio, Larry Harris. And outside in car 12, Denny Dean. Second row in the blue number 7 is Bobby Edwards. And alongside from New Albany in 86, that's Skip Thornton. Row number 3, a limited sportsman graduate moving up to the late model wars this year. Car number 98, Mike Rush. And outside in car number 9, Dan Eves. In row number 4, Larry Harris from Columbus, Ohio in 47, and Jim Cox in 74. And on the tail, car number 39, Randy Maynard Jr. 10 laps for the late model heat race, first heat race. Laps. Larry Harris, Denny Dean lead the field around. Are still lined up beside each other. Harris on the inside, Denny Dean on the outside. Bobby Edwards is third. And Jim Cox with a slide up in turn 3 and 4. Your leader is still Larry Harris, but here comes Dan Eves in car number 9. And Eves is now the leader. Dan Eves in car number 9. Harris back to second. Bobby Edwards third. As they got the halfway signal, Harris off the throttle in car number 4. Larry Harris slowing. That moves Bob Edwards up to second. Now 6 laps down. They'll complete 7 laps this time around. Edwards begins to reel in Eves just a little bit. White flag this time. Now Edwards will challenge Dan Eves on the outside. Larry Harris is third. It's still Dan Eves, the leader. And the winner, Dan Eves. Second goes to Larry Harris. Third is Bobby Edwards. Side of Terry in car 23, Greg Markham. The second row consists of car 19, that's Carlton Smith, and car 26, Bill Cantley. In row number 3, the maroon 92 is Don Renner, and the red and white 28, Gary Brenner. Then comes the Pickerington, Ohio driver, car 83, Lonnie Rush. And alongside in 59, Burgess White. And finally in car 51, your last place starter in this event is Bob Fye. 10 laps to go. Humphrey and Markham, Smith and Cantley, Renner and Brenner, Rush and White and Fye, your lineup. Terry Humphrey the leader. Oh, and we got to spin down the backstretch. One lap, we'll get underway. Mike Corns to the Speedway office at the base of the tower, please. Mike Corns to the Speedway office. Complete restart, still 10 laps to go. The leader is Terry Humphrey, second Greg Markham, and a hello, how do you do to Terry Humphrey from Markham. Third is Bill Cantley. They'll complete 3 laps this time. It's Humphrey, Markham, now Cantley pressuring Greg. And now Bill Cantley moves around the outside of Greg Markham and challenges Terry Humphrey for the lead. They'll get the halfway signal this time by. And Cantley, the new leader in 26. Flag this time for Bill Cantley. Donnie Renner, the one on the move in 92. White flag. And the winner will be Bill Cantley in 26. Second is Terry Humphrey. Third, Greg Markham. Make that, well, I better check that. Yeah, that's right, Greg Markham third, Don Renner fourth, and Lonnie Rush fifth. Okay, the lineup in 75 is James Harding, then Tom Idle in 35, 72 Rick Honecker, 19 Steve Elrod, 73 is Brian McDowell, 43 is Mike Schweier, 18 is Bo Davis, and 14 is James New. Lap in the record books. Your leader is car 75, James Harding. Second is Steve Elrod, but here comes Mike Schweier in a hurry in 43. By the way, they are running 8 laps. This the first of 2 street stock heat races, and then we'll have a very brief intermission. A very brief intermission tonight, and the late models will run their feature first. So Mike Schweier way out front. They'll get the cross flag signal halfway. Steve Elrod second. It's still Mike Schweier, Steve Elrod, James Harding, Rick Honecker now trying to move around Harding for that 3rd spot. White flag that time for Mike Schweier. Still a good race back there for that 3rd spot between Harding and Honecker. In the checkered flag this evening, Mike Schweier. Steve Elrod is second. Oh, hello. Oh, a near miss. Rick Honecker spun down in turn 4. Everybody avoids him. Barely. Street stock heat race. Clyde Trowbridge is in 69 on the pole alongside Jim McCulley. The second row consists of Mike Taylor and Joe DeFelice. In the third row, it's 00, that's Ron Magus, and I think that's 41, Brian New. Then comes 28, Fred Hartzell, 24, Mike Hamilton, 66, Paul Baker Jr., 3, Butch McAllister, and 12, Don Parsons. 8 laps to go. 8 laps for the second street stock heat race. Again, keep in mind it will be a brief intermission, so if you need to take care of a problem, you better do so post haste. Joe DeFelice almost went 3 abreast down in turns 1 and 2. Now McCulley falls in behind your leader, Trowbridge. McAllister 3 deep on the backstretch around Mangus and Hartzell for that 6th spot. Your leader now is Joe DeFelice. Second is Clyde Trowbridge. Third, Mike Taylor, but I think Paul Baker Jr. is going to take care of that problem. Now Paul Baker up to third. Joe DeFelice now up to second. Following DeFelice is Paul Baker Jr. And Butch McAllister trying the high groove around Paul Baker Jr. White flag for DeFelice. Now Baker tries to reel in DeFelice, but it doesn't look like he's going to have enough time. Your winner, Joe DeFelice. Paul Baker Jr. finishes second. Third is Butch McAllister. Fourth in car 28, Fred Hartzell. So again, a brief intermission, and we'll be getting on with the late model feature immediately following intermission. So we'll give you the 5-minute warning here in about 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, and let you know to head back to your seats. Meantime, we're going to start calling off those numbers for those Totally Tubular Techniques t-shirts. The Tubular Technique Doorbuster t-shirts. These things are really slick. So an excellent field considering an early April opening night. And what better weather? You couldn't ask for better weather either. Jim Cox and Terry Humphrey on the front row. Then comes Greg Markham and Carlton Smith. Bill Cantley and Donnie Renner. Gary Brenner and Lonnie Rush. Burgess White and Bobby Fye. Mike Ward and Dick Dunleavy, Robbie Dean and John Vallow, Larry Harris and Dan Eves, Mike Rush and Skip Thornton, Bob Edwards and Randy Maynard, and finally Denny Dean and Larry Harris. 35 racing laps. Have a complete restart. Vallow, the front portion of the pack. 1 lap will be back underway. 3 laps are down. With a major engine explosion down into turn 3 and 4. So oil all over the bottom of turns number 3 and 4. See that big black streak down there? Larry Harris in car number 4. White flag this time around. Again, we couldn't avoid that one. We just had a situation where we had a car lose an engine. Apologize for the delay, but we're ready to go back racing now. 3 complete, 32 laps to go. Humphrey the leader, Jim Cox still second, Mike Ward third. And Mike Rush with a spin down in turn number 4. We're going to check that out. See if there's any debris or dirt down at turn number 4. Down. Mike Ward moves around Markham. He'll take on Cox next. Mike Ward at 61 on the move. Rush Sr. Lonnie Rush with a spin in the second turn. Terry Humphrey, Mike Ward, Jim Cox, Greg Markham, and Bill Cantley, your front five. Mike Ward to the outside of Terry Humphrey for the lead. Ten laps down, 10 laps complete. Back underway the next time around. Mike Ward, Terry Humphrey, Jim Cox still hanging in there in third spot. Greg Markham is fourth, Dick Dunleavy fifth, and John Ballow sixth. Greg Markham goes to work on Jim Cox. Ward the leader, Humphrey is second, Greg Markham third. Halfway this time by. Dick Dunleavy up to fourth. And Dunleavy is third. on the move in too. Dean on the outside of Allo. Robbie Dean is fifth. Still Mike Ward with a big lead. The Big Bird is second. Five laps, 5 to go. For Mike Ward. And a winner, car number 61, Mike Ward. Second is Robbie Dean. Third, Greg Markham. So your winner from Mechanicsburg, Ohio, Mike Ward. I'll get you a top 10 rundown momentarily. No doubt about the winner. Again, this is the same car that Ron Otto Jr. campaigned a year ago. They revamped it, put a different body on it, and Mike Ward was a force to be reckoned with tonight for the Tubular Techniques Doorbuster. Russ Bob in 53. And Sam Heckman with a spin on the backstretch. One lap complete, 29 to go. Russ Bob, your leader. Leader is still Mike Ward. Second, Mike Brown. Not Mike Ward, that's Russ Bob. I'm still back in the late model race. Russ Bob the leader. Mike Brown is second. There we go. I got it right. To be completed this time. Be halfway this time. It's still Russ Bob. Now Kent Sward trying to make his way around Mike Brown. And Kent Sward, it is up to second. But here comes Joe Hill. closes on Russ Bob. Your leaders are door to door. Major contact with the wall. We'll get a start the next time around with 18 laps down. Joe Hill the leader, Russ Bob is second, followed by Ken Sward, Bob Justice, and Donnie Renner. 12 laps to go. Laps are down. 21 laps down. Don't pay any attention to the sign. 21 laps down. They'll complete lap 22 this time. And Mike Brown with a spin in turn 2. Joe Hill the leader. Now Carl Stapleton is up to third. Stapleton in 33 on the move. Five laps to go this time by for Joe Hill. 5 laps. Stapleton is second. The 33 car, Carl Stapleton, closes on Joe Hill. 2 laps to go. Stapleton the outside. White flag. Russ Bob is still third. And your winner will be Joe Hill. Carl Stapleton finishes second. And finishing third, Russ Bob. I'll try to get you a top 10 as soon as possible. No doubt about your winner, the 1990 Limited Sportsman Track Champion, car number 70 from Germantown, Ohio, Joe Hill. Took the year off from sportsman competition a year ago, but he's back this year. Was Donnie Gregory, and 10th was Jim Cruz. Again, your winner, Joe Hill. On the pole, car 75, James Harding, alongside in 72, Rick Honecker. Then comes 77, Don Townsend Jr. and 19, Steve Elrod. Next up, we've got 69, Clyde Trowbridge, 43, Mike Schweier. 23 is Mike Taylor, 44, Joe DeFelice. 00, Ron Mangus. 28 is Fred Hartzell. 24, driven by Mike Hamilton. 66, Paul Baker Jr. 3, Butch McAllister. 12, Don Parsons. Then comes car number 23, make that 73, Brian McDowell in 73. And then we've got 41, 41 Brian New. Then comes 14 Jim New, and 18 Bo Davis, and finally car number 40, a non-qualifier. I think that may be Gary Carter, but I'm not sure. Five laps. go. 20 laps to go. James Harding in 75, and Don Townsend, still going for the lead. And now Joe DeFelice goes 3 abreast. Meantime, Steve Elrod in the backstretch. Elrod is moving in 19. Joe DeFelice trying to make his way around Don Townsend Jr. Mike Schweier is up to 3rd in car 43. And there goes DeFelice again to the outside of Townsend. And the smoke off the 77 car is tire smoke. Fender rubbing the tire, so we hope that baby makes it through the whole race. But it is not oil smoke. Still Don Townsend Jr. racing with Joe DeFelice. Fred Hartzell in a good run is 3rd. Mike Schweier 4th. And Don Parsons 5th. DeFelice now the leader, or is he? They come up on lap cars, and he is. Joe DeFelice your leader. They work to the outside of the lap car of Steve Elrod. Halfway the last time by. Joe DeFelice the leader. Fred Hartzell is 2nd. Don Townsend Jr. is 3rd. Now we have report, Don Townsend Jr. leaking water on the track. He has been black flagged. Don Townsend Jr. has been disqualified. Trying to get him off the racetrack. DeFelice the leader in car 44. Down the backstretch in the yellow and green 44, it's Joe DeFelice. Won Rookie of the Year honors last year in this division. Fred Hartzell is 2nd. Don Parsons Sr. is 3rd. 14 car been disqualified for leaking oil. Appears to be oil on the hood of that car. Two laps to go this time by. 2 laps. It's DeFelice, Fred Hartzell. Now Don Parsons moving on in on Hartzell. A good race for that 4th spot between Mike Schweier and Butch McAllister. White flag for Joe DeFelice. And the race for 2nd heats up as Parsons is on the back bumper of Fred Hartzell. In an easy victory, it'll be Joe DeFelice, their winner. His first ever feature winner at the Speedway. 2nd goes to Fred Hartzell. 3rd is Don Parsons. 4th, Mike Schweier. And 5th, Butch McAllister. His first feature win ever here at Columbus Motor Speedway. He won Rookie of the Year honors a year ago. Joe DeFelice. Thanks for coming out, folks. We're sorry we had the difficulty we did. It's always tough getting everybody accustomed to going back to racing. Still got you out of here in a reasonable time if you hurry. Well, don't hurry too much, but maybe you can get home and catch the late news. Speed Association Buckeye 300. That's May 2nd and May 3rd, the ASA weekend. Again, thanks for coming out.